Alright, ladies and gents, let's get grading. So we're going to be turning this like super flat, boring, monochromatic image into something that looks like it could be from Wuthering Heights or a Disney film, or just, we want to make this look better. That's what we're doing. Okay, so first of all, real quick, our color space transforms are going from Slog3 to DaVinci Wide Gamut, and then DaVinci Wide Gamut to Rec 709. And we're going to be working in DaVinci Wide Gamut because it's a massive, massive color space. And it's going to give us the most out of the tools that we're going to be using in Resolve. Let's start by balancing. We're going to be using the Film Look Creator to actually create our look. It is free, and I didn't want to use any paid plugins. Usually I use Dehancer, which is a paid plugin, but I wanted this to be kind of accessible to everyone. With that being said, let's get straight into balance. So I'm going to go into offset, and I'm going to start pulling this towards blue. And I'm just going to mess around with it, see what looks good. And let's go before and after. This is already looking quite nice. The kind of look I'm going for here is going to be like bluish green walls. And then I want to keep this red of the carpet, and that kind of color contrast is gonna look really nice. Okay, so then once I've done that, I'm gonna start to adjust my exposure. So let's go down, lift, let's bring the gain up, and I'm just going down with my lift, I'm going up with my gain, up with gamma, and I'm just using my wheels here, and you can see on the numbers here what I'm doing. So lift has gone down, gamma has gone up slightly, and gain has gone up as well. And I'm looking at my waveform. Nothing is clipping here, nothing's clipping at the bottom. I've also got this reference line on my waveform to show me basically 3% luminance. And I don't want to crush anything below that, because that information is going to be gone. So like this information is basically gone. So let me undo that. And let's go before and after. Before and after. I'm going to go back in offset and add a little bit more blue. So if you just watch my offset wheel, you can see what's going on. And we've brought our offset to blue, our gain up, gamma up a tiny bit, lift down, and before and after, before and after. Cool. I just bring this up a tiny bit more. This down a little bit more. And I like to do exposure in my log wheels as well. So I'm going to go into log and take the shadows, and oh sorry, I'm still in offset mode. I'm going to use the log wheels, and you can see what we're affecting. It's a lot more gentle of an effect, okay, than lift. So if I show you lift, this is way more global, okay, whereas the log wheels are a little bit more gentle. So what do I want to do? I want to bring this down. The highlight tool usually is not going to do that much. You can see it's only affecting the absolute brightest areas. So the mid-tone is going to be just the walls basically. And I might want to bring the walls up a tiny bit. I'll put my phone on silent so we're not getting any notifications. And I'm going to bring the mid-tones to blue a little bit. Just a touch, because we're not really creating the look in this node, but we want to give ourselves a good starting point. So this is what we've done in one node in 2 minutes, okay? Just look at the difference. We've now, like, it's so much brighter and more balanced than it was beforehand. I might just come back on the gain a tiny bit, just so it's not screaming at us. Okay, before and after, before and after. Sick. Now what I'm going to do is create a parallel node and create a nice little vignette around the center of our image here. So you can do that by pressing Alt-P, and we're going to go to the Windows tab here, create a circle or an oval shape, and I'm going to bring this out. You can press Shift-H to see what you are actually selecting, and let's bring this up. Then I'm going to press Alt-O to create an outside node. So the inside node is going to be affecting everything on the inside, and the outside node is going to be affecting everything on the outside. Okay, so this is blue on the outside node. If I reset that, and then this is pink on the inside node. So it's affecting the central areas more than the outside. So what do I want to do? Maybe I want to bring the middle up a little bit. So, well, maybe we don't. I don't know. Maybe the gain up a tiny, tiny bit. And then on the next node, we can take our gamma and pull it back maybe minus 0.6, 0.06. And before and after. It's just giving us a nice little kind of filmic looking vignette. So this is where we're at so far. Before and after. Cool. All right. Now let's go into the film look creator. So drop it on. Immediately it looks good. Like, I mean, this shadow area is kind of disappearing slowly. And there's a lot of what looks like noise, but this is actually grain that has saturation in it. It's not looking terrible. It's not looking terrible. First thing we're going to do, though, is I'm going to go to clean slate. So this does absolutely nothing now. Okay. And I'm going to go into my color space override and make everything DaVinci Wide Gamut. Also, by the way, if you want a quick tip for your color spaces, when you select the drop-down menu, instead of like looking for your thing every single time, like, oh my god, where is it? Slog3, blah, blah, blah. You can just type in D for DaVinci Wide Gamut, DaVinci Wide Gamut, D. There it is. And if you type in S, it's going to take you straight to S. Bang. There's your Sgamut3.cine. S. Slog3. Bang. So for DaVinci Wide Gamut, I'm just going DA, 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 DaVinci, DaVinci, DaVinci. Bang. And there we go. Cool. Just a little quick tip. So again, this is doing nothing, but now the look creator knows that we are working in DaVinci Wide Gamut. So I'm going to go to my film look blend and put this on 1. Now what this is going to do is it's going to show us the kind of LUT or film look that we've selected. And a tip as well, if you want to scroll through all of these, if you just open the drop down, click any one of them, and then hover over it, and you can use your scroll wheel. I'm going to try and show you. Okay, and you can actually scroll between the different looks. So which one do we like the most? Let's have a look. That's the vintagey, I can tell from all of those greens. This is looking quite sort of commercially, almost like a bleach bypass. It's kind of desaturating those walls. And oh, and yeah, if you, so now I'm scrolling, okay, and nothing is happening. Just click on it, click on a random one, and now you can scroll again. I don't know really why that happens, but it's just the way it is. And I think let's go for Akasaka. Akasaka. And we wanna make all these walls blue and keep the carpet red. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a layer node. Okay, that's Alt L for you. And this is happening. Let me just clean up this node graph a little bit. It's not really like, yeah, cool. We can see what we're doing now. So our layer node is basically, it's prioritizing the bottom node, okay, because that's going into the bottom part of our layer mixer. And this is basically like overlaying on top of the top node. So what do I mean? If I just bring this to pink and I create like a window here, okay, this node down here has got a massive pink circle, okay, and if I turn this on, which is our look creator, the film look creator is happening underneath, and then we're slapping this pink circle on top of it. So, okay, obviously we don't want a freaking pink circle, but what we do want to do is isolate this red, and I will explain why. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go to Shift H, and obviously we have a bunch of noise and stuff going on here, which we don't really want. So I'm going to just create a window around all of this. Wait, let me just do that again. Doesn't have to be insanely perfect, but just want to select all the red. Let's close that up. Let's just bring that out a little bit. And then go into soft and just soften this out. And now we're going to clean up our key, and I'll explain why we're doing this in a second. So let's bring up this, let's bring this down. And we just want to try and get as clean of a selection as possible. So let's close this up a little bit more. Saturation, where do we want this to be? That's fine. Okay, then denoise, we're going to whack this up a ton. Blur radius, we can increase a little bit. Clean white and clean black is going to help get rid of some of those areas on the side. And that is looking like a nice key to me. And let's bring that up. Okay, beautiful. And now let's watch it through. Always watch through the image because you're going to notice where your key is breaking. So can you see all of this dancing business? We do not want that. So let's increase the post filter. Has it helped a tiny bit? We can go into our luminance range and pull that back. Widen this a little bit. It's helping a little bit. And actually what I might do is just close this a little bit more. And let's go into our blur radius and just blur this up a little bit. We can go into denoise even more. And this is helping a tiny bit. But we do want to get rid of this dancing business on the side, so I'm just going to close it. Keying is quite a difficult skill. I think it is difficult. You have to really just keep playing around. And let's see, is this even going to be noticeable? Let's punch in here. No, there is so much noise on this image anyway, you literally can't even notice it. So that's fine. And we're actually going to add a node in here after our balance so that we can do some noise reduction. So let's just do that very, very quickly. I'm not really going to talk about noise reduction that much. I'm just going to go to frames to better and bring this to around, I'm looking at the waveform. When does it stop doing anything? Around here. So that's around 4 for me. And I'm going to just do the same with spatial. Spatial always helps. Nice. And let's just go before and after. Before. It's looking good. It's looking good. And now we can go to our key. Is our key dancing around here? Nope. That looks completely fine. Okay. Why did we use this layer mixer in our look? Because we want to keep this red. So this is without the layer mixer, all right? Okay, so our look is doing this, making everything kind of more desaturated, but I want to keep this red a little bit. Okay, so if I just select everything using a key, okay, it's going to pull out all of this red. And we don't worry about these areas here because we've watched it through. We've not seen any artifacting, even zooming in like 100 times. It's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm in my key node, which is going into the bottom of the layer mixer. I'm going to take the gain output to 0.5 and watch what happens when I go before and after. Before, after, before, after. I'm going to increase the color boost a little bit. And basically what we're doing is we're applying the look to the whole image. This is the top node. And then we are selecting the colors that we want to keep because our look is sort of desaturating everything and it's adjusting the exposure, the contrast, and the hues and the saturation of the whole thing. But we want to keep some of this red back. So that's what we're doing. We're keeping some of that red. Okay. Now what I want to do is add a lot more blue into these areas. So we can do that with the white balance. We can do this with the log wheels. We can do this many different ways. And you can see, because I'm working in DaVinci Wide Gamut, like we're getting very, very natural changes here. Even changing this, like moving this around quite a bit. So I'm going to bring this down to maybe 5600-ish. I think that looks quite good. Let's look at subtractive saturation. What is this doing? So this is, look, even there. So you can see now what that node is doing when we go to the extreme. Subtractive saturation is basically like your film density. So it's going to increase saturation, but leave the luminance values where they are. So you can increase this a little bit. Don't want to go too crazy. The tint, I'm seeing a bit of magenta around here. Let's just look at the vector scope. Yeah, you can see this is more on the magenta side. So I might pull this tint to towards green a little bit. But now this is looking a little bit too green and a bit too saturated. So I'm going to go into my richness, see what this is doing. Maybe subtractive sat, pull it back. And let's just look at it before and after. Before and after. I quite like what this is doing. Now let's add some more sort of flavor and character into this look using the log wheels. So I'm gonna mess around with the log wheels. Let's see what shadows are doing. Okay, let's have a look here. So if I pull this down towards cyan, it's kind of taking out some of the sting in these areas. Yeah, I like what this is doing. So let's just pull this down. Let's see what our midtone is affecting. Okay, so mainly the walls. So what do we want to do? If I pull these towards blue, this is looking too blue, like there's a wash over the image, which I don't really like. So maybe let's bring our midtones up a little bit, and we can balance it out and move them towards red a tiny bit. And this is before and after with the film look creator on. And this is looking really, really nice now. And if I show you with the whole node tree so far, I mean, look at the difference. Look at the difference. Now, what I have noticed is we are losing a lot of exposure, a lot of information here. So, what can we do about that? Because I like the look overall, but I'm losing a bit of exposure. So here in our sort of balance and window area, I'm going to add another parallel node, so Alt-P. But actually we don't need this node here. So we're going to connect a node to our IDT, and then this is going to go into our parallel node here. Let's make sure that's still connected. And let's just bring this up so it's a bit cleaner. Okay. And this is our noise reduction here. The node tree is looking a little bit funny, but it's all good. Hopefully you guys are following what's going on here. Maybe I'll even stack this like that. So here are our vignettes, and I'm going to create a little window around this dude in the middle. Bang, 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 bang. And let's Shift H, soft, just a tiny, tiny bit. And I'm going to track the mask here. So we'll track forward and reverse. This is not a very long clip, and there's not a lot of camera movement. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just check all this off, because bear in mind at this point nothing is really happening to this node. Like, all of this stuff hasn't happened yet. So I'm going to keep it off. I'm going to go my HDR and let's just bring up the exposure a little bit. Okay, and let's go into here. Let's just see what we've done. Okay, maybe that's too much. So I'm going to bring it down to maybe 45. Okay, now if we zoom out. So here is the entire look that we just saw, before and after. And we said, this has lost quite a bit of exposure. So as we balanced everything, we've gone in and brought back some of that information. So now when we go before and after, this looks way, way cleaner. Nice. Okay, very good. Then actually what I'm going to do is go into my vignette here, and I'm going to increase the mid detail. Okay, so that is, where is the mid detail? It's down here. And I'm going to punch in here and just increase it and go back and see, what do I like? Maybe somewhere around 15. And that is giving us a little bit more, basically, contrast in those areas. And yeah, I'm liking what this is doing quite a lot. Okay. I am pretty happy with how this is looking so far. The last thing I want to do is add a tiny bit of film grain. I'm not going to do bloom, halation, gate weave, flicker, all of that stuff, because I'm not looking to go too crazy. Let's have a look. 65mm is very, very fine grain. 16mm is going to be super heavy. 8mm is going to be just mental. Let's look at this. Oh my flipping god, it's just defocused the whole image by a ton. So I'm going to go 65. And then I'm going to take out the saturation. So saturation in the grain, look what it's doing. So this I don't think is pleasant at all. So I like that grain to be very monochromatic. And if we turn it on and off, we can see what it's doing. Obviously we have punched in a ton here. So I'm going to bring this back a little bit. Softness, I'm going to soften it out a touch. Before and after. Okay, let's bring back some of it. Okay, and let's go full view. And it's good to punch in the image, but also you need to bear in mind that you're not going to be watching it like this, right? You're not going to be watching it that close up. So go in, zoom in to see what's actually going on, but then so this is useful because we can see like, okay, cool, we've added some grain, nice. But then like, can we actually notice it on the full screen? That's what you need to be asking yourself. Okay. Okay, and let's pull out. And I think we are pretty much done. So here is our look from log to image. Here is Rec 709. So log, Rec 709, look. I'll just go full screen. So log, Rec 709, and look. So we have come very, very, very far. I mean, look at that. There's just so much punch and contrast, and this hallway is just, it's just jumping out at you. That's what we wanted to do, and that's what we've done with these windows here. I mean, look at the difference the windows are doing even. It's pulling your attention down this hallway so nicely. Okay, that's pretty much it. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't want this to be too long. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. If you have questions, if you have suggestions, if you have requests, I am all ears. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one.